In this presentation, I will examine the strategic position that GAA Plus is taking as the online broadcasting platform for the GAA. GAA Plus is a major move for the organization, not just from a technology point of view, but from a strategic and cultural standpoint. What was once a specialist live streaming service is now an integral part of its broadcasting strategy. I'll briefly describe certain key strategic issues in the GAA Plus, detail how their overall strategy has developed using established frameworks, analyze their current business model, and then finally, I'll provide a solution to guide the future direction of the organization. GAA Plus is operating under a rather delicate strategic environment. The GAA is not a regular commercial enterprise, but rather a volunteer-supported and community-oriented cultural institution. On the other hand, GAA Plus is also a paid digital media service operating in a very competitive streaming space. And such a combination brings about high visibility and high scrutiny. The decision concerning access, pricing, and technology is not just seen from a business point of view, but from an interest point of view. Comprehending this context is imperative when considering the issues GAA Plus faces, as well as the measures the organization has adopted. So, from the case analysis, GAA Plus has been identified to have 5 major strategic issues. To begin with, there is definitely tension between the GAA's community focus and the growing commercialization of the media through the use of subscription television. Second, GAA Plus has diversified into full-stack broadcasting, and it's now in control of production delivery and platform operations, which adds to its costs, risks, and capabilities. Third, reliability has emerged as an even more strategic issue because failure of services directly impacts trust and reputation. Whether to adopt or continue and what extent is also the fourth, because the company is challenged by value perception, issues related to pricing, as well as the high seasonality of demand in the local market. Lastly, GAA Plus operates within an intricate context of rights and stakes that take into account political regulations and control. To grasp how GAA Plus arrived at the point it is today, it is helpful to examine the development strategy through the years. Using the ENSOF matrix, the initial launching of GAA Go in the year 2014 can be identified as a market development strategy. The product itself, GAA Games, was kept unchanged, whereas the market was widened to include foreign fans. This was a relatively low-risk response in terms of strategy, as it didn't affect the existing home broadcasting sector or the GAA's historical free-to-air offering. During the period of the COVID-19 pandemic, GAA Plus responded to and adapted to the closed stadiums by focusing its efforts on product development through providing domestic digital access. However, the most dramatic change took place from 2022 onwards, with GAA Plus securing exclusive home championship coverage and its first foray into live production and analysis. Under the ENSOF matrix, this is considered a diversification. This is where growth is most exposed to risk. It also represents a shift towards a form of forward vertical integration, since GAA replaced tasks of broadcasting networks like the RTE and Sky in this area. Although the ENSOF matrix highlights the nature of growth, the dynamic capabilities approach elucidates how the organization realized such transitions. GAA Plus also had sensing functions, which included detecting unmet diaspora demand and a later realization of a need for digital access. These were leveraged by investments made in a streaming infrastructure, production capability, and editorial content. Lastly, reconfiguring capabilities were apparent in the move to full ownership, whereby there was consolidation of rights, management, production, and distribution in one form of organization. The business model canvas offers insights on value creation and capture practices currently employed by GAA+. The site caters to local supporters, the diaspora, and commercial customers, providing extended access to live and on-demand GAA programming. It derives revenue from subscriptions as well as pay-per-match purchases on the expense side. It's heavily reliant on the live production costs. This also gives rise to several key conflicts in this model, mainly between production costs and seasonality of income, and also between commercial viability and the tradition values of GAA. So, based on this analysis, a number of strategic recommendations can be made. GAA Plus must adopt a clearly policy complementing rather than replacing free-to-air television. This is especially relevant in extending coverage rather than restricting it. More flexible pricing and packaging options could help resolve the problem of seasonality and subscription fatigue. Spending on year-round and lower-cost content would enhance user engagement post-championship, and tiered production system could also align more closely pricing structures with customer demands, whereas a technological infrastructure of reliability and clear governance structure could certainly support reputation. In the immediate future, work needs to be done to stabilize technology and define strategic positioning. Additionally, flexible pricing needs to be introduced for the medium-term period. GAA Plus can include year-round programming and tiered production in order to address the issues of costs and seasonality. And on a longer term, it will be able to consolidate its position as a sustainable digital broadcaster, where profit and culture are brought into balance. On the whole, GAA Plus has the potential to be beneficial to the Gaelic Games, provided that its strategic intent and sustained in the line with the foundation values upon which GAA is founded.